Hey, and welcome everyone to Roo Hammer's weekly NRL round review. We've been absent for a couple of weeks for personal reasons, but we're back this week to take a quick look at the results from round 17. Before we do get started, I want to invite you all to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel to show your support for the content we create. Subscribing to the channel puts you in the draw to win some exclusive Roo and Hammer merch, so click that subscribe button now. Rob, round 17, let's jump into it, mate.
Yes, mate. Round 17 kicked off with the Warriors travelling across the ditch to New South Wales South Coast to take on the Dragons at WIN Stadium, a rare Channel 9 game for the boys. And it was the Warriors 48. Dallin Watene-Zelezniak 4, Montoya, Sirinen, Ford, Johnson and Berry tries. Johnson kicking 6 from 9. The Dragons 18, Sloan, Musgrove and Frank Mollo tries. Lomax 3 from 3. We said flying finisher Dallin Watene-Zelezniak helped himself to a career-high 4 tries as the Warriors outclassed the Dragons 48-18 at WIN Stadium on the Friday night. The Warriors' 9th win of the season has them looking good to play finals for the first time since 2018. Touch wood.
Yep.
Tune into our live show this Wednesday, though, to hear our full breakdown of the game, and that's 7:30 p.m. right here on our YouTube channel.
Absolutely. Great game of footy by the Warriors. We move into Super Saturday, mate. Super Saturday kicked off with the Dolphins hosting the Eels at Sunshine Coast Stadium. And it was the Eels who ran out winners 48-20 for the Eels. Their 48 points came from Penasini 2 tries and 2, Davey, Hopgood, Simonson and Russell tries. Moses 8 from 8 goals, perfect off the boot. For the Dolphins, their 20 came from Tabuai Fido, the Hammer, got 2 tries. McGrady, Tafade tries, Isako 2 for 4 goals. And as I said, it was the last year's runners-up. The Parramatta have made it 5 wins on the trot with a comprehensive 48-20 victory over the Dolphins at Sunshine Coast Stadium. The Eels have rediscovered the form that carried them all the way to the 2022 decider. It was the Dolphins striking first in the 4th minute, however, and the Eels hit back in the 7th minute and then again in the 11th minute to make it 12-4 with Mitch Moses' conversion. The Eels then went on a point-scoring spree, scoring 5 more first-half tries to stretch the lead to a scarcely believable 42-4 halftime lead. The Dolphins, they showed plenty of fight to win the second half 16-6, but have now conceded 136 points in their past 3 matches, and they face a daunting task against the Broncos in round 18. Mate, we've been saying it, but maybe the Dolphins bubble has finally burst.
Yeah, it's kind of been simmering for the last few weeks, but yeah, that's a lot of points to be conceding, and they absolutely need to get back on track as soon as possible.
Absolutely.
The second game, Super Saturday, saw the Panthers minus their Origin superstars at home to the Knights, and the Panthers got the job done, 20 points to 12. Panthers 20, Peachy with a double, Edwards and Jamin Salmon tries, Cogger 2 from 4. The Knights 12, Ponga and Hastings tries, Hastings 2 from 2. Tyrone Peachy Vady wound back the clock to score 2 tries as a ruthless Panthers outfit overcame the absence of their Origin stars to defeat the Knights 20-12. It was Jerome Luai, Isaiah Lowe, Stephen Crichton, Brian To'o, and Liam Martin, all watching from the sideline, and of course with injured halfback Nathan Cleary. Peachy, he stepped up to the plate to ensure the Premiers they remained in the top 2. Dylan Edwards took over the captaincy and fullback and set the tone for the match when he stepped through the Knights opposite Kalen Ponga to score in the 9th minute. And then they were leading 16-6 at halftime, and the home side started the second half just as they did the first, with 5'8" Jamin Salmon diving over from dummy half after 4 repeat sets on the Newcastle try line. Jackson Hastings, he did keep the Knights in the match when he dummied his way over from close range in the 55th minute. But Penrith defence, it just held out the visitors and they had no more scoring opportunities. Jack Cogger, he proved to be more than a handy replacement for the injured Nathan Cleary. He controlled the game with his pass selection and superb kicking game.
Yeah, a good win by the Panthers, minus their Origin stars, as you said. And Jack Cogger, as you said, he's filling that role Sullivan filled last year for the Panthers in the absence of Nathan Cleary. They can find a stand-in halfback, can't they, the Penny Panthers?
Yeah.
The final game, mate, on Saturday was the Storm up against the Sea Eagles. The Storm got the job done at home, 24. Corey Oates, 2 tries. Hughes, Pezzett, Big Nelson, Asafa Solomona, a try. Meaney, 2 from 4, and Pezzett, none from 1 with the conversions. The Sea Eagles, their lone 6 points came from a try to Hamoli Olakuatu and Ruben Garrick 1 from 1 goal. No Munster, no matter, as Storm rookie Jonah Pezzett stepped into the 5/8 role to help Melbourne overcome a pretty spirited Manly side 24-6 at Amy Stadium. The Sea Eagles started strongly but the Storm scored 24 unanswered points in the absence of star playmaker Munster, who was ruled out with a virus. In his place, as we said, Pezzett stepped up, and the 20-year-old combined with halfback Jerome Hughes to give Melbourne a share of first place along with the Panthers and the Broncos. The Eagles, as I said, started well, scoring the opening try in the 14th minute, but it was a tough and ruthless Storm outfit who scored the 24 unanswered points for a very win.
Yeah, I couldn't believe the footwork on Big Nelson Asafa Solomona when he got through the gap there and stepped the fullback, and didn't he love it? Yeah.
Yeah, he did.
What a rarity we had on Sunday. The 2 p.m. time slot. The Broncos didn't know what to do with themselves. They're like, is this a error or something like that? They were playing a Sunday afternoon game, hosting the Titans at Suncorp Stadium. Their apparent preferred time slot of 2 p.m. on Sunday afternoon. And maybe that accounted for the scoreline that we saw. Titans 18. Fafita, Kelly, and Cam Pereira tries. Boyd 3 from 4. Over the Broncos 12. Flegler and Mam tries. Reynolds 2 from 2. Wow. So the Titans, they put an exclamation mark on the end of a chaotic week, and they secured an 18-12 derby victory over the high-flying Broncos. Once again, sack your coach and come up with the win.
Yep.
Justin Holbrook, as we all know, removed as head coach during the week, and Jimmy Lenihan, former Gold Coast Seagull and St George Dragon, and long-time Burleigh Bears coach, took over as interim coach for the rest of the year, ahead of Des Hasler, who's, as we all know, going to take over from 2024. So they had plenty to deal with, especially with the short notice of the coaching change, which I don't think any of us could quite work out, like days out from what is a massive game always in the NRL calendar. And they also made the decision to rest Big Tino Fasuama Alawi prior to kickoff after playing Origin on Wednesday night. But after fooling it with the second-placed Broncos the first half, the Titans found another gear in the second 40, and they scored a pair of converted tries and kicking a penalty goal that earned their first win over Brisbane in 5 games. And with both sides having a bye in round 16, the game was the Titans' first in 17 days and the Broncos' first in 15. And as we said, for most of the first half, it showed it must just be daylight and Sunday, and maybe it's not so much the time slot that they're after as it turns out.
Yeah, there was a lot of disallowed tries in this game too, wasn't there? A lot of tries going up to the bunker that was disallowed. And I kind of, we'll texting each other during the game as we do with most games, and I kind of thought that the Broncos would get the job done. I thought they'd just come over the top, but they didn't, which is great. It's kind of shored up that top 4 now, and as we said earlier, the Warriors were there. We're just on the cusp of that top 4. Mate, the next game was the Rabbits at home against the Cowboys at Accor Stadium, and I don't know what the hell is going on in Rabbitohs, but it was the Cowboys 31. Holmes 2, Tuolangi, Finafuiaki, Deard and tries. Holmes 5 from 6 goals, and Drinky with that all-important first-half field goal. Over the Rabbitohs 6, Ilias a try, Blake Taff 1 from 1 goal. A double in the space of 2 minutes from Valentine Holmes helped the Cowboys to an impressive 31-6 victory over the Rabbits, with 5 players backing up from Origin 2, including Holmes, who was responsible for 18 points on his own. Mate, the Cowboys just dominated the majority of the encounter at Accor Stadium and took full advantage of an error-prone Rabbitohs side who fell to a second straight defeat. Scott Drinkwater, he started fullback, setting up 3 tries and burning South Sydney with his running game with 216 run metres, while Maroons representatives Murray Tuolangi, Holmes, Jeremiah Nanai and Ruben Cotter all carried the ball for over 100 metres in the win. Blues hooker Reece Robson also backed up admirably with 36 tackles for his club. Great win by the Cowboys, and looking at their draw, they're a side that could now they have a pretty good run home in the final 8 or 9 weeks of the comp. They could find themselves in the top 8 in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, absolutely, certainly in the mix. As we said, they've got the Tigers, and I think they've got the Dragons again, and a few other teams. Very winnable. I just love the halftime score in this game, 5-0. That's brilliant. That was a throwback to the 1980s. 82. 82. Yeah, so Sunday was actually a Super Sunday. We had one of those 6:15 games. You don't mind watching them, but you don't want your team playing them.
No, that's right.
The final round was the Roosters at home to Ricky's Raiders, and the Raiders 20, Whiten, Hopewadi, and Timoko tries. Croker with the goals, 2 from 5. Over the Roosters 18, Manu with a double, and Lindsay Collins with a try, and Smith 3 from 3. The Raiders have survived a late comeback to overcome the Roosters 20-18 in a valuable away win to close out round 17. So bouncing back from that disappointing loss to the Warriors in round 15, the Raiders, they terrorised Tedesco all night with Jamal Fogarty's bombs. And they set up 2 tries off the boot. With errors creeping into their game in the second half, Ricky Stewart's side couldn't convert a try after the 28th minute. But thanks to Jared Croker penalty goal, 2 points, that was enough to secure the win. While Trent Robinson's side, they stayed in the contest for the majority of the game, despite losing Angus Crichton with a knee and Egan Butcher with a head knock and Jake Turpin with the ribs. But they could not quite catch up to the Raiders' early lead, so it was too much for them. And buys this weekend was the Bulldogs, Tigers, and the Sharks.
Yeah, Roosters are in a world of hurt at the moment, mate. And with Jamal Fogarty terrorising James Tedesco, well, Trent Robinson had a ready-made replacement in Lindsay Collins. He could have thrown at fullback because we all know Lindsay can out-jump
Yes.
Teddy.
Throw me in, coach.
Yep. All right, so that brings us to the ladder after round 17. 3 teams have a share of the competition lead with the Panthers, Broncos and Storm all on 24 points and sitting on the ladder in that order. 3 teams on 22 points with the Sharks occupying 4th spot on the ladder courtesy of a superior points differential ahead of the Warriors in 5th and the Raiders in 6th. The Eels and Rabbits both on 20 points round out the top 8, with the Titans also on 20 points just outside the 8th in 9th place on the ladder. But the Titans have had all their 3 of their scheduled buys for 2023. The Cowboys, Dolphins and Roosters are in 10th, 11th and 12th, all on 18 points. The Sea Eagles are in 13th on 17 points, followed by the Knights in 14th on 15 points. And then 3 teams round out the ladder on 12 points. The Bulldogs and the Tigers, and of course the Dragons in that all-important wooden spoon position, 17th on the ladder.
Yes, they are, and they look destined to stay there.
Yeah, absolutely.
Guys, yeah, don't forget this week's live show will be Wednesday night at 7:30 p.m. We're back to our usual time slot, and that's 9:30 p.m. for you guys across the ditch there in New Zealand. And we'll be looking extensively at the Warriors' victory over the Dragons and a preview of this week's absolute sold-out blockbuster against the Rabbitohs at Go Media Mount Smart. And please, if you are a fan of our content, make sure you like and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you don't miss any of the streamed content.
Absolutely. Other ways to show your support of us is to subscribe to our Patreon program. The links will be in the video description, or head to our Redbubble store and grab yourself some exclusive Roo Hammer merch. Plenty of designs honouring past legends of our club, current stars, as well as some great novelty prints reliving some memorable moments. The link to the store will also be in the description below. That's it for this video. We look forward to catching you all on Wednesday night for the live show. Cheers, guys.
Thanks, guys. See you then.